Darren McCaffrey, our political editor, has done an interview with Boris Johnson. Darren, did he just endlessly say build back better and levelling up, or was there some other substance in there?
Well, you know, in some ways, trying to pin Boris Johnson down, Nigel, is a bit like trying to nail jelly to the wall. Quite difficult, never easy. And it is interesting, is that there are some big, massive challenges facing the country at the moment. We know there's rising inflation that's going to lead to higher prices. Energy prices, of course, being a big part of that. But also this shortage, essentially, of drivers, which has meant that there have been supply issues fundamentally. And it is a big issue for the government. And my kind of point to him was, well, first of all, you should have seen this coming. We know there's been a shortage for many years on this. And frankly, you know, can the government do any more to kind of mitigate the damage that it is causing? And this is what Boris Johnson had to say to me in that interview a little earlier today.
The fuel is getting to the forecourts. I think we've had above weekly delivery rates for a while now, above daily delivery rates for a while. It's a problem of that. So the supply side is being fixed. It's the demand side. It's people, you know, very human reaction to what they see on the news, going to fill up. And I just urge everybody to just go about their business in the normal way.
Sorry to push this point, but like, we've known for years, you're right, there's a shortage of lorry drivers in this country. We've known certainly for months there's going to be a really crunch point this autumn, and yet the government seems to be entirely reactive. Why not recognise that this is going to happen? Do something about it.
It's not the job of government to come in and try and fix every problem in business and industry. We have fantastic supply chains in this country. We have fantastic supply chains, fantastic logistics. There is a problem of demand.
Really interesting, isn't it? Listen to the Prime Minister there, kind of explaining in a way that he doesn't think it's the government's role, Nigel, to be involved in kind of every single business, which is a pretty conservative place to be in many regards. But again, he keeps aiming for this kind of sense of trying to turn the country, he would argue, post-Brexit to a high-wage economy. That, of course, has consequences. We're seeing, for example, that people who are being paid 30 quid an hour to pick Brussels sprouts and broccoli, and frankly, that's great for them, but it also means that those costs for businesses will at some stage probably have to be passed on to consumers. We also talked about energy, because he was talking about fuel there, of course. We saw those panic buying last week, and again, interestingly, he kind of alluded to the fact about how this country at the moment is pretty reliant actually on energy sources outside of the UK, not least of all Russia. Have a listen.
Deal with the cost of energy. You'll do it at the moment. We're vulnerable to Russian gas prices. Yeah. So what they decide to do in the Kremlin impacts us in the UK. We've got to be much smarter than that. So we're investing in clean green energy of all kinds, and that will help. And admittedly, in the longer term, that will hold down the cost of energy.
Well, Darren, thank you for that. We'll talk to you tomorrow after the PM's big speech, but I think he's kind of teased much of what he's going to say. And I must repeat what I said last night. He appears to be completely out of touch with ordinary families. But Darren, we'll see you back here tomorrow.